Whenever you attend a performance of a musical ensemble of any type that you enjoy, often the first and most common thought that comes to mind is, wow, they sound great. In other words, your sound is the easiest and most immediately recognizable characteristic of greatness. Developing your sound is your number one most important goal, and it will make every other goal you could ever have on the trumpet noticeably easier. Because humans are surrounded by sounds every day, we can recognize a great sound even when we can't define it. But let's define it. What exactly is a great sound?
Every great sound has two main characteristics. The first is that it's a full sound. The word full means containing as much of or as many as possible, not lacking or omitting anything.
So a full sound means as much sound as possible, and nothing but sound. We are talking about quality of sound here, not volume. A small container can be equally as full as a large container as long as there's no empty space in either one.
The second characteristic of a great sound is very similar in nature. We need a clear sound. The word clear means pure, transparent, easy to understand and interpret.
So a clear sound means a sound with nothing interrupting it or clouding it. A sound that is easy to identify is a characteristic trumpet sound. If two containers are the exact same size and completely full, but one contains multiple ingredients while the other contains purely one ingredient, only the second of these containers can be defined as clear.
So far so good? Let's put your knowledge to the test. Listen to these two examples. Which one sounds fuller and clearer? Is it this one? Or this one? Have your answer in mind? Great, let's talk about it. The first sound is stuffy and strained. The sound appears to be working or even fighting to get out of the instrument. This often results from trying to buzz into the mouthpiece to make a sound, and then attempting to increase that sound by using more air, which illustrates two of the most common misconceptions about playing the trumpet. On the other hand, the second sound seems to flow naturally, and you can achieve this sound by focusing more on blowing air through the instrument rather than buzzing the lips into the mouthpiece.
By the way, if you couldn't immediately hear the difference, don't fret. Like most things, this will come much more naturally to you with a bit of practice. We as human beings already have a preconceived notion of what full and clear actually mean. We can quantify it, and we can recognize it when we see or hear it. Because of this natural inclination, even individuals with no musical experience can still listen to an experienced musician and think, wow, they sound great. But a great sound for the trumpet can mean many more things than just full or clear. It can be bright, dark, inviting, sizzling, dynamic, audacious, unrelenting, polite, modest, uncertain, agitated, colorful, warm, embracing, or any host of characteristics. So how do you know what your sound should be? Here's my simple two-part checklist for ensuring you're making the right sound for you. Number 1, do you actually like the sound you're trying to create? This might sound silly, but it's one of the most overlooked steps. If not, you need to find a full and clear sound you do enjoy. When you like what you hear, you will naturally gravitate towards it, even when you aren't actively engaged in doing so, which means you have to like the result you're working towards.
Number 2, does your sound fit in the ensembles you're performing in? For the vast majority of us who play in an ensemble of some kind, it's likely that you need additional characteristics for your sound to fit well in that group. In a concert band, it might be a warm sound to blend with the rest of the instruments. In a pep band, it could be a bright sound to energize the crowd, but both sounds should be full and clear. It's time to reveal my number 1 tip for finding your best sound. Ready? Here it is. Identify and aspire towards your greatest trumpet idol. But how do you do this? Look for professional trumpet players whose sound truly resonates with you. Spend as much time as needed to discover that person or those people, because we'll be analyzing their key characteristics. If that feels like an overwhelming task, don't worry. Stick with me to the end of the video and I'll help you get started. If possible, try to find someone local so you can experience their performances live. Places to find this person may include a local professional band or symphony orchestra, a college or university, especially among faculty but also among certain students, a regional or national event such as the National Trumpet Competition or the International Trumpet Guild Conference. But what if you can't find someone live and in person? A high-quality recording means you can listen whenever you want and for as long as you want, so there's really no bad choice between the two. If you're intentional about it, you can find high-quality video recordings on YouTube and audio recordings on your music streaming platform of choice. However you choose to find your ideal trumpet player and trumpet sound, you now have a defined, tangible goal that signifies exactly what you're striving towards achieving. Having this goal in sight will make it dramatically easier to achieve.
Once you've done this, there are just a few more steps to take in order to bring your own playing to the next level. First, ask yourself, What about your idol's sound do you like the most? Define the specific characteristics of that person's sound that you love. These don't have to be sophisticated technical terms. As long as you can name them and quantify them in your own way, you will be more easily able to recognize these qualities as they appear in your own playing.
The important thing is to define what those characteristics are so that you can recognize them later. Now that you've defined those characteristics, the next step is easy. Listen to your idol's sound as much as you can. Listen to them in your house. Listen to them with a mouse. Listen to them in a box. Listen to them with a fox. Listen to your idol here and there. Listen to your idol everywhere. Please don't unsubscribe. This is the most important part of this trick. As previously mentioned, if you love their sound and surround your world with it, you're more likely to naturally gravitate towards their sound when you pick up your instrument. It's one of those rare instances where you can get better at your instrument on autopilot without even practicing it. You know, as long as you're also practicing it. There's only one more step to this process, and it comes in the form of a question. For the final step, ask yourself this: how can I replicate any one of these characteristics in my own playing?
Do this with one characteristic at a time when you are playing the simplest music in the easiest, most comfortable range for you. Again, you need to have named these characteristics in your own words to best understand how to replicate them. I cannot stress this enough. You do not need to be able to perfectly replicate their sound with complete precision. At least not yet. For now, take your easiest note and see how many elements of your idol's sound you can replicate with just that one note. Never feel bad for trying to copy someone else's sound. Emulating the sounds you admire is the first and most crucial step to developing your own sound.
Now guys, here's the thing. This is such an important and crucial part of the process that I can't just send you out into the wild to search blindly in hopes of striking gold. It would be a borderline scandalous act for me to do so. So I created an entire video highlighting 5 extraordinary examples of great trumpet sounds from great trumpet players. And if you really want to get this working for you, then you need to watch this video right here. It will give you such a strong head start to forging your own trumpet sound that it'll be almost as good as getting rid of your 7C mouthpiece. Almost.